Good day to you and welcome to WCCN's News, where we give you a roundup of the stories taking place in the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Western Jamaica and beyond. I'm Adise Jonas Murphy. Coming up in the news, a Festival of Religious Freedom ends on a high. World-renowned tele-evangelist Pastor Doug Batchelor hosts Week of Prayer on NCU's main campus. Treasurer of the Jamaica Union Conference ordained as pastor. JAMU's Couples Convention set to take place on February 7, and the Cornwall Courts Church goes on a mission. Stay with us, all these and more, when we return. Thanks for staying with us. Now for the news. Thousands of religious groups flocked to the National Arena in Kingston on Saturday, January 24, to witness the historic staging of the Festival of Religious Freedom, spearheaded by the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, JAMU. The festival featured numerous international representatives from the World Church, civic leaders, and various religious groups. The Governor-General of Jamaica, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen, lauded the Seventh-day Adventist Church for their role in seeking to preserve religious freedom.
This gathering in the national arena is rightly called a festival because we're here to celebrate the freedom of religion and belief. And we Jamaicans have the privilege of enjoying this as a fundamental human right, which is enshrined in the Constitution. We do not take this lightly, especially as we know that millions of people across the world are denied that freedom and are even being martyred because of their belief.
Governor-General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen. Also on location were the Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Robert Pickersgill, who brought greetings to the gathering on behalf of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller, and Member of Parliament for North Central Clarendon, Pernell Charles, who represented the Leader of the Opposition.
The freedom to practice one's own religion as determined by one's conscience is both a right and a privilege that we should continue to safeguard and celebrate. As 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17 says, I'm repeating 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. Since you know it, you want to lead off the quote? It says, "Know the Lord is that Spirit. Know the Lord is that Spirit. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom." Freedom is there. I congratulate the International Religious Liberty Association on this major and worthy initiative. The government of Jamaica is very pleased to see the broad, inclusive participation of so many individuals and organizations in this festival today. Indeed, Jamaica has a long and distinguished history of freedom of religion, which we should not ever take for granted.
And Mr. Charles had this to say.
I've been asked by the Leader of the Opposition to represent him here today in a political position to say to the Christians of this country, the Jamaica Labour Party pledge to continue our full support to religious freedom today, tomorrow, and to the end of our party.
Pernell Charles there representing the Leader of the Opposition Party, Mr. Andrew Holness, and before that, the Honorable Robert Bobby Pickersgill, Acting Prime Minister representing Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller, Prime Minister of Jamaica. And still on the Festival of Religious Freedom, religious groups in Jamaica now have further reason to celebrate as the National Religious Liberty Association, which is the body elected to advocate on behalf of religious groups that face discrimination, it has been launched. Religious Liberty and Public Affairs Director of the Jamaica Union Conference, Elder Nigel Coke, led out in the proceedings.
We are very pleased today to launch the National Religious Liberty Association, which is an affiliate of the International Religious Liberty Association, a non-sectarian, non-political organization recognized by the United Nations. While some religious groups are not represented on the executive, the Constitution of the NRLA provides for a general forum where all voices are represented, and it is the collective manifestation of the work and not the individual representation of it at this time that will ensure that we are effective. Today, I'm pleased to name an interim executive comprising of President Reverend Conrad Pitkin, President of the Association of Full Gospel Churches, Secretary General Nigel Coke of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Vice President Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, President of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, Deputy General Secretary Reverend Gary Ariat, General Secretary of the Jamaica Council of Churches, Treasurer Bishop Selvin Gottsmer, Second Vice President of the Independent Churches of Jamaica. And we have also, and he is avoidable absent, Mr. Wendell Wilkins. He will serve as Director of Religious Liberty Affairs, and he is an attorney at law.
Religious Liberty and Public Affairs Director of JAMU, Elder Nigel Coke. And Pastor Everett Brown, President of the Jamaica Union Conference, also endorsed this initiative.
We are appreciative of the support and presence of the leaders and members of other religious groups, as this freedom is not unique to any one people of faith. This freedom is not unique to the members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jamaica. This freedom is not unique to the Christian community.
Pastor Everett Brown, President of the Jamaica Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. The National Religious Liberty Association will be an affiliate of the International Religious Liberty Association. And hundreds of students and members of staff of NCU, Northern Caribbean University, have benefited from a spiritual revival spearheaded by internationally renowned televangelist from Amazing Facts, Pastor Doug Batchelor. Batchelor was the guest speaker for their Spring Week of Prayer, which convened January 23 and ended on January 29.
The Week of Prayer has been going extremely well with Pastor Doug Batchelor. Students on the campus and several people from the community have been coming into the meetings, even at the 2 o'clock session and certainly in the evenings. And it's creating a rich experience on the campus in terms of revival and spiritual upliftment for students.
Dr. Trevor Gardner there giving us an update on the impact of the Week of Prayer being conducted by Pastor Doug Batchelor. Meanwhile, accountant and Seventh-day Adventist Church Administrator Bancroft Barwise is now an ordained pastor. His recent ordination was witnessed by scores of family, friends, and church members at the Mandeville Seventh-day Adventist Church.
When I was approached to join the work, the Seventh-day Adventist work, I never hesitated. I saw it as the Lord calling me to do something for Him. And since then, I have just followed His leading.
Barwise added that his decision to serve Christ full-time was born out of an experience he had 28 years ago.
I had an experience where my life was spared miraculously because I thought I should have been the first one over the Maypen Bridge in 1986. And somehow the Lord stopped my vehicle. I literally watched about 23 lives perish that night over the bridge. And I interpreted that as the Lord having something special for my life. He wasn't ready for me yet. So my determination was to do whatever he asked of me.
And the president of the Jamaica Union Conference, Pastor Everett Brown, in a charge to Barwise, said while ordination is not essential for one to serve in the gospel ministry or any service in the Adventist church, ordination is essentially the church's way of affirming the pastor of his divine call to the gospel ministry. In a world where the norms and values of societies continue to deteriorate, the Jamaica Union Conference, along with its 5 local fields, will target the building block of the society, the family, by hosting a massive couples convention. The couples convention will be held under the theme Journey Towards Intimacy and will feature international presenters Dr. Willie and Elaine Oliver, Family Ministries Directors of the World Church.
We realize right now that many families are breaking apart. And we feel that we have 2 options. We can curse the darkness or we can light a candle. And with all the immorality and all that is taking place in our world, we feel the better option is to light a candle. And so at NCU on the 7th, we want to bring all the couples together and we want them to be encouraged and empowered and inspired along the path of intimacy. The challenge we're having today, people are so busy that there's no time that the families are spending together. Husbands and wives are busy with education and busy with overtime, and so there's no time. We are encouraging people to spend time in helping the whole process of intimacy. Intimacy cannot be done without TIME, and we feel that this is what we're encouraging.
Pastor Eric Nathan, president of East Jamaica Conference and former Family Ministries Director of the Jamaica Union Conference. We also caught up with our Family Ministries Director of West Jamaica Conference to get an update on the support of the event from those in the West.
West Jamaica Conference will be participating big time. We have already registered 926 couples. Of that 926 couples, we have 185 who will be there. The Family Ministries Department wants to scratch where it is itching because we truly believe that no one should settle for a good marriage when it can be great.
Pastor Joel Hay, Family Ministries Director of West Jamaica Conference. The Couples Convention will take place on Saturday, February 7 at the NCU Gymnatorium in Mandeville, Manchester, beginning at 9 a.m. sharp. And finally, members of the Cornwall Courts SDA Church in St. James did their best to bring hope and cheer to the less fortunate. One of the recent beneficiaries was an elderly gentleman in their community, Mr. Bizzle Lee.
We volunteered our time to help Mr. Lee with some housekeeping and grounds work, food items, furniture, and other necessities. Upon arrival on the scene, we realized that he was sleeping on a mattress which was laying on the ground, and because of that, we donated a mattress and a bed base for him.
And it's good to know that our churches are still very active and present in their communities. And that brings us to the end of our newscast. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I'm Adise Jonas Murphy, wishing you God's richest blessings.